everyone, it's Nicole again. Long time no see. I'm filming in a different spot because there's been a massive heat wave in LA and it's too hot to go in my room. So I'm in front of the air conditioning, which might be making noise, but it's too hot, so I'm gonna keep it off. So I didn't do too much reading this month. It's been a pretty busy month. I read mostly comics, some graphic novels, and then one novel. But the novel was like probably my favorite book I've read this year, so I'd say it was a pretty good reading month still. So the first things that I read were a bunch of single issue comics. I'm just going to kind of run through the titles that I read just because they're all parts of series that are pretty ongoing, so don't want to spoil anything. So first I read Saga number 44 and 45. Then I read Tank Girl, World War Tank Girl number 3. And then I read Bitch Planet Triple Feature number 2. That one's kind of a new spin-off series of Bitch Planet, where 3 different writers and artists make individual stories that are supposed to be set in the overall world of Bitch Planet, but it's not with the same main characters. So that's been pretty interesting. I mean, I hope they get back to the original story eventually, but they've been busy. And then I read Lopper number 6 by Andrew McKean. This one's kind of a new plot, but it's still kind of number 6. And then I read a graphic novel that I've been wanting to read for a while, and that is Cages by Dave McKean. I got this from my library, so I don't have it with me anymore, but I do really want to buy it. It's just really big and usually pretty expensive, or they don't have it at the graphic novel, or the comic book stores I'd be going to. This one I kind of read for Tome Topple, which is where you read books that are 500 pages or over, and one of the challenges was to read graphic novel. This one is 496 pages, but I literally didn't have any graphic novels on my TBR that were over 500 pages, and this one was close enough and I wanted to read it. So I didn't end up reading another book that was over 500 pages, but I did start one and I've been reading it. So Cages is about this apartment building, and I think it's in New York City in like the 70s or 80s, and it's just all the different people that live in the apartment building and kind of how their lives intersect. And there's a lot of talks about music and art making, and Dave McKean has like a very interesting and unique art style. It's kind of weird looking, but I really like it. He does all the covers for Sandman, and he works with Neil Gaiman a lot, so that's probably, you might know him from that, but he's also like his own graphic novelist and musician and regular artist and filmmaker, because he just does everything. So I like this a lot. It was a pretty calm book, like not too much happened plot-wise. It was just kind of floating around the different people who lived in the apartment building. But I really liked it, and it really felt like a film in the way that it kind of just moved around throughout the apartment. So it's one I definitely want to buy for myself if I ever find it in stores, because it's hard to find. And the next thing I have with me, let's talk about this one first. I read these on the same day. These are the 2 newest graphic novels for the Comics Experience graphic novel of the month book club. And the first one is My Pretty Vampire by Katie Skelly. And this is a short little book about this lady vampire. Oops. I dropped the book plate. But yeah, she's just a lady vampire, and her brother is like keeping her in the house so she won't eat people, and they kind of have a weird relationship, and she runs away and goes around having sex and eating people. So it was pretty fun. It's pretty short, and I feel like she could have gone more in depth with some stuff. But it was like a nice little like short story about the vampire. And the art is really nice as well. Battery's running out, but I'm trying to speed through the next two books that I read. So the next one is the next graphic novel of the month, and that is Pantheon, the True Story of the Egyptian Deities by Hamish, Steele. And this is basically what it says in the title. It's about all of the Egyptian gods and goddesses, and it's in this kind of really cute, cartoony style, and it's just a bunch of little stories about them. I liked it. It was pretty funny. Sometimes the humor was a bit silly, but mostly the problem I had with it was that there was just so many characters, and it was really hard to like remember who's who, and especially because like everyone's related, everyone's married, and then like there's a little family tree, and I kept having to go back and look at, but sometimes they would look different than they looked here. Some of them have different forms, so it was just a little confusing in that aspect, but it was really silly, and got to learn a little bit more about Egyptian gods. He did do a lot of research, so he tried to keep it as accurate as possible, mostly because like Egyptian mythology already has such wild stories that he didn't really need to make any up because they're already pretty crazy. So this one was good too. And the last book I read this month was Foxfire Confessions of a Girl Gang by Joyce Oates. And I've been like telling everyone in my real life about this book like so much, just because I love it. Like, new favorite book of the year, maybe favorite book of all time. Like, that's how much I liked this book. I found it at Half Price Books. I just went in there one day, stumbled upon it, and I was like, hey, I wanted to read Joyce Oates' novel. This one looks cool. I like girl gangs, and it's got a cool cover. But I wasn't expecting to love it so much. So this is set in the 50s in a small, like, blue-collar town in upstate New York. And it's about this group of high school girls who form a gang that's kind of, like, they all try to fight against, like, male supremacy and, just, like, men catcalling and, like, harassing women, specifically, like, their group of friends. And it's the leader is this girl, Leg Sardovsky, who has, like, a very difficult life. A lot of them are pretty poor. They come from families that deal with, like, alcoholism and drug abuse. And she's the leader of this gang, and she kind of holds them all together. And it's told in the future from one of the members who was pretty much in love with Legs, looking back on her past and kind of looking through all her notes because she was the note taker. Yeah, so I thought, like, the way the story was told was great, the writing was really unique, the plot was wonderful, and I think everyone should read this book. I kind of want to do, like, its own review video just because I loved it so much. There's also a movie from the 90s with Angelina Jolie, so I'm hoping to watch that soon, though it's really hard to find. But let me know if any of you have read this book because it's my new favorite, so I want to talk to everyone about it. So those are the books that I read in the month of August. It wasn't too many, but I liked all the books that I read this month. Let me know what you guys read in the month of August, and I'll see you soon with another video.